Wonders of Faroe Islands. The world's strangest island. Travel guide. Did you know there's a place in the middle of the North Atlantic where sheep outnumber people almost 2 to 1? And the weather can change from sunshine to fog to sideways rain, all within 15 minutes? Welcome to the Faroe Islands, one of the most remote, rugged, and downright magical spots on Earth. Most people can't even point to it on a map. Some think it's part of Iceland, others think it's a Game of Thrones filming location, and honestly, both of those guesses make sense. Today we're diving deep into the wonders of the Faroe Islands, the world's strangest island destination that'll make you question everything you thought you knew about travel. Survagsvatn, the lake that defies gravity. At first glance, it looks impossible, a lake perched high above the ocean defying the laws of physics. Survagsvatn, also called the lake above the ocean, is one of those natural illusions that make you stop and question your own eyes. The optical trick happens because of the steep cliffs and the lake's angle. It looks like it's floating above the Atlantic, ready to spill over. Imagine standing there, wind hitting your face, feeling like you're staring at the edge of another planet. But here's the catch. Getting there isn't a casual stroll. The weather can turn from calm to chaos fast. And those cliffs? They're no joke. I once tried to film there and had my drone snatched midair by a gust of wind that felt personal. Still, that's the thrill of it. The Faroe Islands don't want to be conquered. They want to be respected. If you go, wear proper gear, check the forecast, and never underestimate the Atlantic mood swings. Mulafossur Waterfall, the village hanging off the edge. There's something cinematic about Gossadalur village tucked between mountains, with Mulafossur Waterfall spilling dramatically into the ocean below. Before 2004, the only way in or out was by hiking over a mountain or helicopter. Locals literally lived in isolation, surrounded by beauty too wild for most people to handle. Now there's a tunnel, but the feeling of remoteness still lingers. It's the kind of place where silence has weight, where the sound of crashing waves echoes through the valley like nature's applause. The best moment? When the clouds part and a single beam of light hits the waterfall, like nature's own spotlight. Funny story, when I was there, I waited 3 hours for that light, eating soggy sandwiches. And just when I gave up, it happened. 1 second of perfection. Totally worth it. If you visit, be patient. The Faroes don't rush for anyone. Kalur Lighthouse, the end of the world view. Picture a tiny lighthouse perched on a knife-edge cliff, surrounded by green peaks plunging into endless blue. That's Kalur Lighthouse on Kalsoy Island. It's one of the most photographed spots in the Faroes, and trust me, photos don't do it justice. The hike up is steep, muddy, and often covered in mist so thick you can barely see your hands. But when it clears, you're standing at the edge of the earth. I met a local hiker who said, "If you hear the wind whisper, it's telling you to sit down." I laughed, then got there and understood exactly what he meant. The gusts can be wild. One wrong step and you're part of the North Atlantic. So here's the advice. Respect the wind, don't go too close to the edge, and wear shoes that can handle mud that bites back. Oh, and bring snacks, because once you're up there, you won't want to leave. Tórshavn, the world's smallest capital. Tórshavn feels like a capital city designed by introverts for introverts. Colorful wooden houses, turf roofs, cozy coffee shops, and people who greet you like an old friend even if they've never seen you before. It's small, barely 20,000 people, but it has this quiet confidence. The old part of town, Tinganes, looks like a Viking parliament that time forgot. And technically, it was one of the oldest in the world. Walking those narrow lanes feels like stepping into a history book, but one that smells like freshly baked pastries. The only danger here? Getting too comfortable. I went out for just one coffee, and somehow ended up watching the sunset with a group of locals telling stories about puffins and ghost ships. That's the Faroes way. No itinerary, no rush, just connection. Mykines, the island of birds and isolation. If heaven had a cliffside, it would look like Mykines. Home to thousands of puffins, this island is a bird lover's dream and a hiker's challenge. You'll trek along narrow ridges with waves crashing hundreds of feet below, and every turn gives you another "is this even real?" moment. But here's the thing, getting to Mykines isn't guaranteed. The ferry only runs in good weather, and the Atlantic decides what good means. When I visited, my return trip got canceled because of fog so thick it felt like walking through milk. I ended up staying the night with a local family who cooked the freshest fish I've ever tasted. The island tests you, but it also rewards you with simplicity. Just nature, wind, and silence. So deep, it feels like a conversation. Gjogv, the village with a hidden secret. Gjogv looks like a postcard came to life. Colorful houses, sheep wandering freely, and a dramatic gorge leading straight into the sea. The name literally means gorge, and it's one of those spots that's so picturesque it doesn't feel real. But the real secret isn't the view, it's the people. When I was there, an elderly woman invited me in for coffee and cake, told me stories about winter storms that lasted weeks, and laughed when I said I missed the sun. "We don't miss it," she said. "We make our own light." That line stuck with me. The Faroes have mastered the art of cozy resilience, embracing the weather, the darkness, and turning it into warmth. So, if you ever visit, don't just look at the landscape. Talk to the locals. That's where the real magic hides. Saxon, the hidden lagoon. Imagine a valley surrounded by mountains, where a lagoon sits quietly between the cliffs, reflecting the sky like glass. That's Saxon. It feels like stepping into a forgotten world. The road to get there twists through green hills dotted with sheep. Honestly, it feels like the drive itself is part of the experience. But here's the thing. Tourists sometimes forget this is still someone's home. Locals have asked visitors to stay on marked paths, not trespass, and treat the place with respect. It's not a theme park, it's a living village. I once met a farmer there who said, "We don't mind people coming, we just mind when they forget to leave gently." That hit different. So yes, take your photos, but also take your time to breathe it in quietly. Trillkonufinger, the witch's finger. Standing tall over the ocean near Sandavagar is a rock spire called Trillkonufinger, the witch's finger. Legend says a giant troll woman tried to throw a boulder at the Faroe Islands but turned to stone when the sun rose. It's one of those myths that sound wild, but when you see it, you kind of believe it. The rock actually looks like a hand reaching out of the sea. Hiking to the viewpoint is tough but worth it. And here's the funny part. I was halfway up when a local man passed me wearing slippers. Actual slippers. Just smiled, waved, and kept going. That's how you know you're in the Faroes. They're built differently here. Let the wind mess up your hair, let the fog steal your plans, and let the islands show you what real wonder feels like. And hey, if you enjoyed this journey through the Faroes, drop a like, hit subscribe, and tell me in the comments, which of these places would you brave the Atlantic winds to see first? Because trust me, once you set foot here, you'll never see the world the same way again.